Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I have given in. We're playing Shiranui. Why? I don't know. Actually, it's mostly due to the fact that I have all of the cards randomly. Let me show you real quick. I have not gone through this box very much. In fact, I only have... It's not going to load now. I'll just explain it. I only have one Solitaire and one Squire. Two cards that were very core to the original strategy. However, now, the deck is basically, well, an abomination. Let me show you what the deck currently looks like. Yes, it's literally just endless trap hell. So, obviously, we're talking about the skill first. Endless trap hell. You got three trap cards in your graveyard, return those babies to the deck, and add one of them to the hand. We'll add one of them to the hand, return the others to the deck. Anyway, it's pretty simple. You use a lot of trap cards. It allows you to go through the grind game pretty effectively. Now, let's talk about the cards. Gozuki. Send a zombie-type monster to the graveyard. That's all you need to know. Solitaire. When it's banished, it summons back this guy. Also, you contribute it to summon this guy from the deck. From specifically the deck and nowhere else. That's all you need to know. Skull sends a zombie-type monster from the deck to the grave. That's it. Spectral Sword. You banish this card from the graveyard to summon up a Synchro monster using levels in the grave. So, a 2 and a 4 is a 6. A 2 and a 6 is an 8. A 2 and an 8 is a 10. Okay? That's all you need to know. And it's specifically zombie-type monsters. So all of these. All 4 of these, okay? Ballista Squad. Fiendish Chain. Paleozoic. Floodgate. Divine Wrath. Divine Wrath is spicy and it's kind of funny because sometimes you'll have an extra card in hand and you'll discard it and they'll be like, yo, what the frick? Why are you negating my monster effect? And then they can't play the game and it's great. But... it's not too great. You don't want to play multiple because oftentimes you actually don't have cards in your hand. Or you have like a Sphere Karibo, which you want to keep in your hand. So, use at your own discretion. However, you can basically replace any of these cards, any of the trap cards, with any other popular cards. You could play more Karma Cut. You just have to make sure that you keep cards in hand for that, right? You could play, you know, other effect negation like Ultimate Providence. You could play more Fiendish Chain or more Raigeki Break. Or, you know, if you had Book of Moon, play Book of Moon. If you had Drowning, play Drowning, right? Obviously, you're not going to play any of these 2-ofs, but, you know, you could. Wall of Disruption. It's very funny watching people walk into a Wall of Disruption and then they just cry. Because you just win. You don't even have to do anything. You just win. They have a bunch of monsters in attack position that are really weak. All of a sudden, you win. So yeah, you can play Wall of Disruption. You can play Hallowed Life Barrier. Who cares? Just play it. Right? Play Forbidden Chalice, and then instead of playing Endless Trap Hell, play friggin' Destiny Draw. Doesn't matter. Play whatever you want. Okay? All of these, they're tech cards. Ignore them. Ignore them. This is the core of the deck. Look at that. That's what you need. Okay? Moving on. We have the spiciest of techs. So first of all, we have Coral Dragon, and then we have Onimaru. Basically, Coral Dragon with another level 6 is going to get you Onimaru. Coral Dragon allows you to pop a card by discarding a card, and when it is sent to the graveyard, you draw a card. It's really nice. It's just a good card, okay? And it allows you to on Onimaru, which Onimaru, when it's used, or when its only materials are Synchro monsters, right? So 2 level 6 Synchro monsters, which is why you want this tuner. You are able to go into a... during damage calculation, damage step, during the damage step, you become 6,000 attack instead of 3,000. And you can't be destroyed by card effects. Or, sorry, you just can't be destroyed. No, by card effects. Yeah, I was right. You can be destroyed by battle, but, I mean, you're 6,000. So basically, you can't be destroyed. Which is insane. This guy's really good. He's really strong. And he could just OTK your opponent. Oh, they have 2,000, you know, they have a 2,000 attack point monster on the field. Oh, no, they don't. It's dead. And very similarly, we have another combo. We have another level 6 with a level 8, and Shogun Saga and Squire Saga get the same result. What does it do? Well, Shogun Saga, when it's summoned, it will banish a zombie-type monster from the graveyard, and if you've got the Samurai Saga in the grave, it will banish that. It will gain the attack of the zombie-type monster, so in this case, 2,500. And then, Samurai Saga's effect will activate, and it will decrease the attack of the monster by 500. So if they've got a 2,000 attack point monster on the field, you go into Shogun Saga, you banish the Samurai Saga, all of a sudden, they're down to 1,500. You've got a 5,500 attack point monster on the field, you attack in, and boom, that is lethal like that. That's how you OTK, except you can't actually OTK in one turn because you're a little slow. It's just slow to go through your combo. However, once you're able to get to that OTK, it's pretty effective. Now, we have a very, very good card in the grind game, Sun Saga. This is why we're only playing one Solitaire, because this card in particular is insane. What does Sun Saga do? Sun Saga, when it's summoned, you return zombie-type extra deck monsters to the extra deck, and then pop cards corresponding to how many zombie-type monsters you returned. So, if you have all three of these guys banished or in the graveyard, and you return them with the effect of Sun Saga, your Sun Saga will allow you to pop 3 cards without targeting. You thought Legionnaire was good. No, this card's insane. And it can still attack after activating that effect. And it has another effect. Yes, it just keeps getting better. There's a reason this card is at 2 along with the rest of the Shiranui archetype. Anyway, this card also says if a zombie-type monster were to be destroyed in any way, you can banish a zombie-type monster from the graveyard instead. Just straight-up protection. Very similar to Tez in the Dark Lord archetype. It's insane. And it's 3,500, so oftentimes you can pair it with, you know, a Samurai Skull or something like that. And then you have lethal on the field. Heck, you could even just pair it with a Spectral Sword or a Solitaire. Just anything. If it's somehow on the board with another monster, you have 4,000 attack right there. And you've probably popped a bunch of cards, right? Or at least prevented them from playing the game. Anyway, then we've got Diamond Direwolf as the last card in the deck. Just, it's good at getting other cards in the grave, like these guys, as well as Solitaire. Occasionally, you'll have, you know, you'll already have a Spectral Sword in the grave and in your hand, and then you have a Solitaire that you need to get rid of, and so you XZ summon into this guy, you pop a card, and now you got a Solitaire in the grave. Fantastic! Let me show you some replays real quick so that you understand how the deck works. Alright, I know that everyone and their mother wants to know how to deal with harpies. Well, I'll show you. This is how you deal with harpies. They're gonna set up, they're gonna do their thing, they're even gonna play Neos Fusion, they're gonna get their Harpy Harpist on, they're gonna get their follow-up. They're sitting pretty, they're happy about what's going on. Now, we've drawn our Samurai Skull and True Traps and a Sphere Karibo. Hey, we did it. We drew a good hand. We're going to send that Spectral Sword to the graveyard off of the Samurai Skull's effect, and then we're just going to pass on 2 traps. Perfumer comes out. We're going to Floodgate that. Do you want to know why? Because now they don't have a Harpy card. They can't go into their Harpy Synchro, okay? That's why. You Floodgate the first thing. Just flood. Just monster summon, Floodgate it. Just flip it down. Doesn't matter, just Floodgate it. Tie that binds? Do you know what? I don't want that to happen. Oh, you're going to activate Forbidden Lance? Okay, do you know what? I'm fine with that. Why? Because I'm only going to take 300 damage instead of the original 9. So I don't really care too much. We end up drawing into a Solitaire, so I'm going to normal summon the Solitaire instead of normal summoning the Skull. Why? Because we want Solitaire into the grave. So then we're going to summon up the Spectral Sword into defense position. Solitaire is going to activate after we banish with the effect of the Spectral Sword to go into a level 6 in order to summon up the level 8. The Solitaire is going to summon back the other Spectral Sword, or that we had originally banished, in order to go into the level 8 with that Spectral Sword and the level 6. And then the level 8 and the level 2 Spectral Sword are going to go into a Sun Saga. Sun Saga is going to activate. We're going to attempt to return cards from the graveyard and or banish zone to the extra deck. And they say no with a Fiendish Chain. Rather interesting. But we are going to activate our Paleozoic Canadia. Why? Because I'm stupid and I have no other reason. I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun. He's going to attack into me, I'm just going to let it go. Even though I have the Sphere Kuriboh, I'd rather protect this big lad or anything else that we happen to make. For example, this Samurai Saga. So we're going to set our Paleozoic that we drew off the top. We did end up going into the Samurai Saga after using our effect of Spectral Sword in the grave. Now, we don't actually have another target for our Spectral Sword. So this is where you could run another Shogun Saga if you wanted to, but you don't have to. However, we do kind of want this Sun Saga to go back to the extra deck. So at this point, we're just kind of stalling until that happens. I do actually use the effect of Samurai Saga, which basically, if there is a monster in attack position that has less attack than one of your banished zombie-type monsters, you can return this banished zombie-type monster into the deck, and then set the opponent's card into defense position. It's okay, it comes up rarely, but I did end up using it there, which was kind of funny. Interestingly enough, I attacked into the Neos, and they didn't activate Neos Fusion to protect it. So they wanted to clear their field, which was pretty interesting. We do end up having a Floodgate Trap Hole here. And so they're going to go into that Cyber/Harpy lady. And we're going to get Floodgated, and then they're going to return our Samurai Saga. Now, that was the correct play because Sun Saga is still under Fiendish Chain, but we're going to attack in with our Samurai Skull because Harpy/Lady, or Cyber/Harpy Lady, whatever the frick it's called, has less defense than the attack of our Samurai Skull, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, they're going to add that Perfumer, which is then going to add the Harpy's Feather Rest and the Elegant Egotist. They're going to fire off that Elegant Egotist. They're going to fire off the Harpy/Lady, and they are going to return our Sun Saga. Now, this would have been a really great play if this guy could have been turned into attack position, but he can't because he was Floodgated, which means he's stuck, well, she's stuck, potentially forever in defense position. Sad day, we know. But this is the biggest mistake that they made, because now our one of Sun Saga is allowed to come back. We were able to banish our second Spectral Sword and the Shogun Saga in order to go into that level 10, and then we return to and pop both of the Cyber Slashes that he had, and then we get, well, Sphere Kuriboh. But it doesn't matter because we did end up drawing into a Ballista Squad, and then as soon as the Harpy Channeler comes down, we are going to Ballista Squad, and then we are going to activate the Paleozoic that we had in Grave, and he's going to scoop. Because we had lethal. Next turn. Didn't matter what he did. We had lethal. It was game. It was over. It was done. Sun Saga is stupid. I'm so glad it is limited so heavily, but realistically it should have just been banned. Anyway, that's it. Let's move on. So, I forgot to mention that I was indeed playing this in the Duel Carnival thing. But most of these players that I was playing against were either in King of Games or Legend. This guy happened to be in Platinum, but overall he was playing Magnets. However, the Magnets are, they're pretty strong. They have a plus 600 attack. So, it is pretty scary. Anyway, we're going to go off with our normal combo with the set 2 Samurai Skull into pitching, the Spectral Sword, standard stuff. And then he's going to go off and he's going to do a whole bunch of things during my end phase. I'm like, yo, bro, it's my turn, not your turn. He's like, no, our turn. And then he has all 3 deltas on the field. This is actually really funny. I Floodgate his first one. He goes, I'm going to Cosmic Cyclone. And I go, aha, I have the punish. It's a Ballista Squad. And then he scoops because he realizes he can do nothing. Because all I have to do is I have to Ballista Squad his Abyss Dweller, which was a really smart play by him. But I Ballista Squad the Abyss Dweller, and then I have a a lot of plays. So I know that last one was a bit short, but you know, a lot of people tend to surrender quickly when they realize that they have been beaten. And you know, if you know how to use your traps properly, you can beat a lot of people. Now, we happen to draw 2 ballista squads here, which is kind of sad, but it's fine. We're going up against 6 Sam. It's not like it's that big of a deal. Blade Armor Ninja. Huh, how very interesting. Well, let's see how this works. So, you might not know, but we got rid of Shien's dojo because this guy can allow them to go into the Synchro Monster, which we definitely don't want. So, we got rid of that. And, yeah, now we're pretty happy. While he did get to go into his Blade Armor Ninja, we just can flip it face down, and then he doesn't do anything. Anyway, Spectral Sword's going to activate. We're going to banish 2. We're going to go into this guy. And then we're going to get Fiendish Chained. And then we're sad. And then he flips this guy up for no reason. We're going to Ballista Squad because we did happen to draw ourselves the Samurai Skull, which allows us to do quite a bit here. As you can see, that other Ballista Squad did end up coming up because we were able to Paleozoic Canadia. And then we have all 3 in the grave. However, we weren't able to use the Spectral Sword, because we had to send it to the graveyard. And this is, if this card is in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard. So, we weren't able to actually go for the OTK, but we did get in 1700 damage, and we used the skill to get back at a Ballista Squad. So now we can pop one of the cards that he ends up using. We're going to go Ballista Squad, we're going to pop that back row, because I'm more scared of that back row than taking 1800, because guess what? On the following turn, we could just summon up to level 8, and all of a sudden we have lethal right there. I didn't even need to summon the Gozuki, but I was going to. Why? Because it's funny. Yeah. So, we're back with the deck, and let me tell you, for some reason, it is very satisfying to outplay people with traps in particular. There is something about using traps effectively that is incredibly satisfying. Because I've seen a lot of people just like not use a lot of back row effectively, because it's easy to understand how a combo works, right? You know, I'm gonna do, you know, I'm gonna summon a Harpy Lady, and then I'm gonna summon another Harpy Lady, and then I'm gonna go into the Harpy Lady Synchro because that just works, and then I'm gonna sit on it. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Good job. Good on you. Right? But when you're like, okay, I have to actually control this duel, to me, that's a lot more fun. That's why I think I've enjoyed playing Witchcrafters. If you haven't watched, I play a lot of Witchcrafters on my second account, which I might do a deck list for that. If you want to see that, type a comment down below. But overall, I really enjoy this deck. Mostly because it's full of traps, which is weird. I originally didn't think that that would be the case, but you know what? It just is. I really enjoy control decks. I really enjoy controlling the duel, and yeah, and then just OTKing. I think that's why I enjoyed Invoked as well. It was very similar. And Element Sabers were very fun because, again, it was very similar. Overall, is this deck good? No. Is it fun? Not necessarily. Is there a reason that this deck should be around? No, this deck should be dead. I shouldn't be able to play a Shiranui as consistently as I am. And yet here we are. I really do think that a major issue is this guy in particular. I really do think that Konami needs to just start banning cards more. Because, yeah, there are cards that just weren't good for Duel Links. And I believe that this is one of them. I also believe that Sanctified Dark Lord, or the Sanctified Dark Lord, was also one of them. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. I'm just going to get out of here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, a like is very much appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.